Her husband thinks I'm trying to poison him, he's crazy, and they just dismiss it.
Jeremy, I went in and said my poor husband is sick. He needs help. There is something wrong with him.
Okay, Jeremy, I'm glad you're here because if this is going on, this is attempted murder.
Yes.
And why do you think she would want to murder you?
Right after I got a job working for the town, they gave me an insurance policy, a life insurance policy. I gave it to her to fill out, and within a couple weeks later, I started having all the symptoms.
So you get an insurance policy for a substantial amount of money.
Yes.
And she's the beneficiary?
Yes.
And right after that, you believe she started poisoning you. What tipped you off to this to begin with? How did you find out about this?
I was really sick for weeks. I couldn't move. My legs were gone. I was laying on the couch, and my mother called me and said, listen, stop drinking and eating everything in the house. Go to the store, buy stuff, lock it in the barn, and see how you feel. With 2-3 days later, my skin started clearing up. I could start walking again. All the urinary problems went away.
Did you confront her with this?
I didn't know what was going on in the beginning. I kept going to the doctors. They kept doing blood work and urine tests. And
I assume they found the poison.
No, they wouldn't test for the poison. She'd go into the doctors and go, oh, my poor husband thinks I'm trying to poison him. He's crazy. He's crazy. And the doctors would just dismiss it.
And you said it caused your urine to turn really dark.
My urine was really dark.
And have soap suds like residue.
Yeah, I couldn't hold it in, so if I was outside working in the yard, whatever, I'd go wherever I was at, and literally there was a pile of suds on the ground that would last for like a half an hour.
So you're like pee and soap.
Pee and soap.
Well, she can say you're crazy, but if you hand a doctor a urine sample and it's full of soap,
they wouldn't test it.
Well, you don't have to test it if you're pee and soap.
Yes.
That's a giveaway.
Right. They told me I was crazy. Go home.
You're pee and soap, and they tell you to go home. You're crazy.
Yes.
And you say that the borax has caused your brain to swell.
Yeah, my brain was swelling out of control where I actually had to go in and have brain surgery. She didn't shed a tear as they were wheeling me into the brain surgery. She was like, good luck.
Did you ever find any evidence of borax around?
I found it under the passenger seat of her car, typed it in on my phone, started researching it, and it was all the symptoms that was going on in my body, which related to the poisoning of borax.
So you confronted her about it, and she said, good luck proving it.
Yeah, she goes, I never bought borax. Good luck trying to prove I did anything to you. I bought it to make bouncy balls with the children.
And you say that when you stopped eating food that she gave you, drinking any liquids that she gave you, you cleared up.
Instantly, a couple days later, I'd be fine.
You don't eat or drink anything from her?
Well, no, 2 weeks ago, she moved out again. I had blisters all over me. My head was hurting really bad. And I said
you started eating food from her again?
She was bringing home the food. She was bringing home sandwiches or whatever for dinner.
Well...
Yeah, well, I learned my lesson.
I mean, if you thought she's actually poisoning you, and so she brings home McDonald's, and you say, sure, yeah.
You know, she's always like, I want to do it. I want to keep the family together. You know, I'm trying to do it for the children. I'm thinking maybe she'll grow up. Maybe she'll move on so we can raise our children.
Do you want her to go to prison for what she's done?
If it's true, yes. I mean, I can't figure out any other reason what went wrong with me. I mean, I've been thinking about this nonstop for a year.
Is it possible you're wrong?
I don't think so. I mean, I had Chiari-1 malformation. That's what it's called. And I researched it any which way. It doesn't make you crazy. I mean, it's really painful. It'll cripple you, but nothing about it makes you go crazy in your brain.
Right. And Chiari-1 malformation is generally, the primary Chiari malformation is congenital. It happens at birth.
Right.
And is that what their diagnosis is with you, that this happened at birth and then manifested now?
Yeah, birth or concussions. But, I mean, it was so far down my neck, I couldn't swallow anything. My brain was so swollen, like it was pushing on my trachea where I couldn't even eat anymore.
Is that possibly why you had to have the brain surgery, because you had a congenital malformation and not because you were poisoned?
Well, no, when I was studying borax poisoning, borax causes the brain to swell. And that's not going to make you pee soap and white balls be coming out of your body that are burning.
What do you mean white balls coming out of your body?
They were hard white balls. They weren't acne, it was like burning. And literally these hard white balls would be coming out of my skin, my arms, my chest, my back.
So let's talk to Kelly. She says that her once loving husband, Jeremy, has turned into a paranoid, delusional monster who is convinced that she's trying to kill him, when she says nothing, absolutely nothing, could be further from the truth.
My wife has put borax in my donuts, my hot chocolate. She'd say, oh, there's nothing to eat, let's order out. I'd say, well, I'm not hungry, just you and the kids get something to eat. You need to eat something, why aren't you hungry? She wanted a reason to feed me so she could put borax in it. My wife came home and said there was a sale, and she had 4 2-liter bottles of my favorite soda. And the next morning when I woke up, all 4 bottles had been opened. A couple of days later, I started getting sick again. The doctors wouldn't believe what was going on, so on my own, I started urinating into a bottle and saving the bottles. And the bottle's really dark, and literally, there's all this white sediment that settled to the bottom of the bottles. Like there's an inch of what I believe is borax sitting on the bottom of these bottles of urine.
Okay, Jeremy believes that Kelly has poisoned him. She says, no, no, no. She says, look, I have not done this. I am innocent. And she says the only reason that she had borax was to make what are called bouncy balls with her children. Take a look.
I am not trying to poison or kill my husband in any sort of way. He has become paranoid, depressed, and delusional. The Jeremy that's here right now doesn't love me. He hates me to the core. At times, my husband can act like a monster. Jeremy believes I'm a pathological liar and won't believe a word that I say. I never bought the borax. It was given to me by my daughter's family member so that she could make bouncy balls. When the accusations persisted, I did try to show him the text message from the family member that shows that she got it. He still continued to believe that I bought it. At first, I did think he was joking, and then he started to say, "I'm gonna have you arrested." Jeremy's urine and blood work proved that he didn't have borax in his system. In spite of all these tests, he just didn't seem to believe it. He started on testosterone injections. I noticed that these paranoid accusations also started happening. If nothing changes, then I guess I have no choice but to file for a divorce.
Okay, so maybe I'm wrong on this, but right off the bat, I think I'm already siding with the wife because Jeremy is not sounding logical so far in his interview with Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil says, well, couldn't this be congenital issue and that's why you had brain surgery? And he's like, no, what about my urine? What about this and that? He doesn't seem to be listening to reason. And I don't know, he seemed kind of jumpy. Do you seem jumpy to you guys? He seems a little bit off. She's saying this started after testosterone injections. I don't know anything about that, but maybe it causes paranoia.
Okay, Kelly, you've been listening to the show since the beginning.
Yes.
Are you attempting to murder your husband?
Of course not.
Have you tried to poison him with borax?
Of course not.
Then what explains these symptoms that he's reporting?
My husband has multiple medical issues going on.
They never tested me for borax in my blood or my urine.
The rashes, the sweating, the urinating, the cloudy urine, these are also symptoms of kidney stones, which he had. I believe that's what caused it from drinking lots of Coca-Cola, which he does do.
Has he ever accused you of anything like this before the last year?
No.
Up until the last year, describe your relationship.
I believed that we had a good marriage. I know he doesn't believe that right now. I know he thinks I'm a bad
for divorce
person.
in the last 6 years.
I thought we loved each other. And I thought
Punching
that...
me in the face, kicking me, he's all,
Okay.
That's love.
Jeremy,
That's love.
I do love you. And I believe that we did have a good marriage. We have 3 beautiful children.
If his symptoms are not from you poisoning him with borax, where would they?
His symptoms connect to the kidney stones that he had at that time that they found.
Right.
And then he also has Chiari.
I still have the kidney stones. I'm not urinating soap right now.
I know that I never have even opened a box of borax in my entire life.
Did you have borax in your car?
I did.
Did you have a legitimate reason for it being there?
Absolutely.
And what was that?
I did not buy the borax for my daughter to make bouncy balls that she found on Pinterest. And she went to see a family member. And when they came back, the family member handed me the bag with the borax and said, your daughter really wanted to make bouncy balls. I figured that was your choice. Here's the ingredient.
We actually have a statement from this family member, and this is what she had to say.
I had Kelly's daughter for the weekend. She was telling me about this ball that she could make with borax. So she asked me if I would buy the borax. I bought it. When I dropped them off to Kelly, I had it in a bag. I gave it to Kelly. She just stuck it into her car. She took the borax home with her.
Okay, and you said you'd never heard of anything like this, and frankly, I hadn't either. But I did look it up, and all you have to put in is bouncy ball, and it's all over the internet. Here's how to make a bouncy ball, and you can see in the graphic it says borax, and you make a bouncy ball. So, right. I mean, that is a legitimate school experiment that they do.
Correct, but you type in borax poisoning on the internet, and it comes up with all my symptoms I was having too.
Well, I did that too. And here are the symptoms of borax poisoning: blue-green vomit, diarrhea, bright red, rash, blisters, coma, convulsions, fever, low blood pressure, drowsiness, decreased urine output or none, muscle twitching, just really sloughing of skin. Your symptoms were dehydration, rash and blisters, migraines, blurred vision, fever, kidneys burning, dark urine with soap sud-like residue, and Chiari-1 malformation. And when I look at this, you didn't report blue-green vomit, you didn't report diarrhea, you didn't have coma, convulsions, you didn't have sloughing of skin, you did not have decreased urine output. In fact, you had so much you had to wear Depends. You didn't have a measured low blood pressure. What you had was dehydration, rashes, migraines, blurred vision, and fever, and kidneys burning. You say you have kidney stones, which are not associated with this, and you don't have dark urine with soap sud-like residue as a symptom of borax acid poisoning.
On some sites it says...
Only 3 match.
On some sites it says out of control urination, stones, swelling of the brain. I mean, that's just one of them. I went to a lot of different sites.
So did I. I want to know the answer. Listen, if this woman is trying to kill you...
I want to know the answer, too. I could
I'm
be
with
wrong
you.
with it is.
If she's trying to kill you, I want to put her under the jail.
Right.
And I don't want her around you. I want to know. But if you're wrong, I'm not saying you are, but if you are, wouldn't you want to know?
Yeah, I would want to know. That's why I'm here.
Jeremy says that he can prove Kelly's been poisoning his soda, milk, and donuts with borax because he claims his friend was deathly ill after drinking soda Kelly poisoned.
My head started to swell really badly. It felt like it was getting bigger and bigger. Couldn't even think. I couldn't move. I had an MRI that showed I had Chiari malformation. My brain was literally wrapped around my trachea. My head hurt so bad I was begging to have brain surgery so the pressure would go away. I had brain surgery on my birthday. That's how bad I wanted it. The hospital discharged me at 1 o'clock. My wife didn't come and get me until 7 p.m. because she was having one last affair before I came home from the hospital.
Okay, Jeremy says no one believes his wife is poisoning him, but like any good wannabe lawyer, he's been collecting evidence. Jeremy says he has 4 soda bottles, milk, donuts, and even has his own urine which prove what he thinks is true. Now, Jeremy's friend claims he too became ill after supposedly drinking the poisoned soda that Jeremy gave him. Take a look.
I was thirsty, so I asked him if I could have a drink. There's soda, I just opened it. I drank some, and I started feeling weird, and then I started throwing up, and I laid in bed for 3 days. Couldn't stand up for a long time. I wouldn't see why anyone would try to kill him or poison him. I think he should get away from her as far away from her as he can. Leave her and move on.
Okay, now, I pay attention to things like chain of custody, and your friend drank soda and said he got sick.
Correct.
Did you give that to his friend?
No.
No, it was a fresh bottle in the house, and I went to drink it, and it was flat, and it didn't taste good, so I just brought it outside, and I went to the store, and I bought new soda, and he always said, oh, can I, I'd have a bottle laying around, can I have this when he's working on my yard or whatever? He started drinking the full bottle, and he started vomiting right away, and it was over an hour.
So he got that bottle from you?
He got it from me. It was one I took out of the house.
He didn't get it from her?
Well, I'm not the one who put anything in it.
Would you think if you had a bottle of poison liquid that you'd kind of steer him away from that?
I didn't know at the point.
I want to talk about some facts about borax poisoning because the U.S. EPA gives borax a warning level of slightly toxic. And for borax, acute oral toxicity is 4,550 milligrams per kilogram of weight. For 150-pound Jeremy, that would be about 3/4 of a pound of borax. And boric acid is rapidly excreted, primarily in urine. About anywhere between 89 and 98% of boric acid is eliminated in the urine over a number of hours. And if I can have it out here, I want to show. This is 3/4 of a pound of borax here. This is the exact amount that you would need in order to see toxicity in your system. So that's what you would have to put in here if you were going to drink this, and it would be at a toxic level.
It was at a slower rate. It wasn't going to be overnight.
And if you put this in here, you've got a volcano.
Okay.
I mean, I don't want to do it on stage
Okay,
here,
okay.
but you pour this in here, talk about a science experiment.
Yep.
This just bubbles up like a volcano.
Okay.
And you...
I could be wrong about what she was using. I went from being a totally healthy person
Well, wait a minute.
to being laying on the couch sick every day with her going, get up, there's nothing wrong with you. Get up and go to work and take care of these children.
Well, you can't change your theory just because all of a sudden it doesn't make common sense.
Well, no. What I saw
This
online,
wouldn't even
that's what I
fit
did.
in here.
Right.
And if you put it in there, this would just explode
Okay.
all over 3 of us here.
Okay.
And if it's in there at a low enough rate that it would be masked and you wouldn't taste it, you would excrete it in urine faster than you could take it in. You would have absolutely no symptoms whatsoever.
Okay.
You would have to ingest this to have the symptoms you're talking about, and you have to do it right now.
Well, it was coming out of me so quickly, I couldn't hold it in.
How could you take this much in and not know it? You think you could? I give you a spoon, you could eat this right now?
No. I don't know. I woke up, my taste buds were blowing on the bottom of my tongue. I had blisters all over my throat, my mouth.
Well,
Wearing my CPAP machine.
Do you think you ate it and didn't know it?
I don't know what it was.
So, yeah, I think he's paranoid. I don't know what's up with the friend who seems to believe him and seems to agree with him. He says he got sick after drinking this flat soda. I'm a little confused about how long the soda was left in the car, right? Because he said he took it from inside the house. It was flat. He put it in the car. He went to the store, got more soda. He gave it to his friend, but it didn't sound like it all happened at once. So maybe that flat soda was left in the car for a few days or something. And by the time the friend drank it, it was, I don't know, it had been sitting out in the sun, or the plastic chemicals were leaking into it. I don't know, but something is off with that. And she didn't even give him that soda. So now we see that there's no way he could consume that amount of borax without knowing. This is ridiculous.
The doctors. And I want to look at the reasons for the appointments from December 15 and to November 16. And it starts up here. This was a new patient consultation, testicle problems, bilateral knee and back pain. Then in January, back pain and depression. February, physical back, testicle pain, memory problems, believes wife is having affairs. March, fever, urinary incontinence, back pain. March, 2 days later, back and abdominal pain, being verbally and physically abused by wife. Believes wife is having an affair, possible STD. 5 days later, back pain, depression, found male bodily fluid in wife's underwear, possible STD. This is what you're saying.
Yes.
Then here you are a few days later, kidney bladder issues, wet to bed, believes wife is having an affair, leg muscle soreness, no appetite. Then 3/21, believes wife is poisoning him to obtain life insurance, having an affair, found borax, symptoms match borax poisoning, found searches on computer for poisoning.
There was poison searches on my laptop when I went on it.
Yeah.
In the house.
Were you searching how to poison him?
Of course not.
Okay.
Of course not.
A couple weeks later, rash on face, chest, marital stress, believes wife is poisoning, back pain, memory problems, difficulty thinking. Then 6/2, admits to using Adderall from friend.
They put me on Adderall.
He was prescribed to.
Why were you getting it from a friend?
He gave me a couple of them because I couldn't get off the couch. He was telling me to get up, wake up, and realize what was going on.
Why not get them out of your prescription bottle if they had given you?
Well, I did. I went to the doctors and they gave them to me.
After that?
Yeah.
But you were taking them illegally before that?
Yeah, 2 of them.
There are symptoms that are associated with abusing Adderall, for example.
I wasn't abusing Adderall.
Well, I'm not saying you were. If you take this when you don't
prescribed
need
it, and I don't have these symptoms. I mean, I go and I go take it every day.
Palpitations and tachycardia, blood pressure elevations, psychotic episodes, anorexia, hives, rash, impotency, low libido changes, hair loss, blurred vision, pupil dilation, dry mouth, unpleasant taste, may exacerbate symptoms of behavior disturbance and thought disorder in patients with pre-existing psychotic disorder. I mean, this has a bad emotional effect if you're taking Adderall when you don't need it. It can affect your cognitive
They tested
functioning.
me for everything. It does help me get up, focus, and go up throughout the day.
And when you went to the doctor and they checked you each and every time, did they ever find anything in your blood that suggested that you were being poisoned?
They never tested my blood for poison. She'd go in and go, my poor husband thinks I'm trying to poison him, he's crazy, and they just dismiss it.
Jeremy, I went in and said my poor husband is sick. He needs help. There is something wrong with him. He can't get off the couch. He doesn't feel good. He's breaking out in sweats. There is something wrong. Can we please get help? Can we please get a CAT scan? Can we please get any metal poisoning test? Can you please test him for poison to show him that's not the truth? Can you please help my husband?
You said,
Jeremy,
I think he's trying to poison me. That's the furthest thing from the truth. And the doctor just looked at me and said, you're crazy, and dismissed it.
you had infectious
Nothing.
disease.
We talked to a doctor who has seen Jeremy, and he says, quote, I don't believe his behavior was from borax or other poison. It would have been a more severe reaction. I would think stomach discomfort, things like that. To me, I think we're dealing with a mental health problem with him. It's just been so bizarre.
Right, it has been bizarre.
He has Chiari, he has kidney, he has lung nodules. But
Yeah,
I can't
have
sprinkle some
prosthesis and
fairy
stuff
dust
like that.
on you and make
I
all
don't
that
have,
appear.
I didn't have nodules and kidney stones and out of control urination and a swelling brain for years. It just happened within a month.
I'm sorry you got sick, but I didn't do anything to make you sick. I love you.
Jeremy says he wants to prove 3 things. His wife has been poisoning him. He's not crazy in his terms, and he married a cheater. So is Kelly poisoning her husband? to cover up her affairs? Well, we'll talk about that when we come back.
Jeremy started accusing me of cheating on him around the same time he accused me of poisoning him. Jeremy has put a tape recorder in my car without me knowing. He thought that he had caught me doing something on his recording. It's actually him and my daughter talking. He comes running in. I got you. I caught you. I've never cheated on Jeremy, and I've been 100% faithful to him.
Well, Jeremy says he knows his wife has had multiple affairs throughout their marriage, and he says he's done everything to catch her. He says he's hidden a recording device in her car, stolen her undergarments, he says proved that she's cheating, and even gotten a DNA test for him and their children because he says he isn't sure he's their father.
My wife was accusing me of having an affair because she was covering up her affairs. One night, I went into our bedroom and I found 4 pairs of Kelly's underwear that I believe that had bodily fluid in them. I know for a fact the bodily fluid wasn't mine because we hadn't been sleeping together.
Jeremy still has a few pairs of my underwear that he keeps as evidence.
A couple months ago, my neighbor and I discovered that there was an undercover cop following Kelly home in an undercover SUV. The SUV would go up the street, turn around, and then leave. And I believe that the police were following her home because she was having sex in public in her vehicle, and they were investigating her, trying to catch her. Is she out having sex for money? I don't even want to think about that.
My husband has accused me of having affairs with multiple other men, from police officers to co-workers to his best friends.
One time, I looked in the back of the car and I saw a huge stain that looked like bodily fluid. When I saw the stain, I'm like, what's this? And she's like, I've never even been back there. That's yogurt. The kid spilled yogurt. And I'm like, oh, you know, that's a really weird yogurt stain.
I have nothing to hide. I've offered to take a lie detector test, show him my phone records that show that I've never spoken to another guy.
I had some serious doubt about Kelly, so I actually went and did a DNA test to make sure that my daughters were mine.
Jeremy believes that I tampered with the DNA results. How could I tamper with results that I didn't even know that the test was being done?
Okay, I just have to say really quick, he searched her underwear, 4 pairs of underwear, he found bodily fluids. Yeah, probably because vaginal discharge exists. He's been married to a woman for how many years? He's been through how many childbirths with her? Has he never heard of discharge before? It's a common thing. It's normal. It's part of how the female body works. This is utterly ridiculous, and I think this man needs help.
Okay, there was a lot there. I'm going to start with the DNA results. You said that your urologist said that they weren't your children.
Correct. Because my T levels weren't even on the chart.
And you said you didn't look at these DNA reports. Some urologists just told you these were not your children. Well, here are these DNA reports.
Right.
And
I believe they're my children.
And let me tell you, this DNA report says probability of relationship 99.99%. 99.99% for your 2 children. These are your children.
Right. Yes.
This is 1,000 dots.
Yep.
The chance that this is not your child is that little white piece of that 1 dot right there.
Right. I didn't care about it.
Now, here's what we talked about so far. You said that you have been poisoned with boric acid, which is in borax.
Right.
Okay? I've made it very clear to you that you would have to take so much of this in such a short period of time that it is virtually impossible. You have a Chiari malformation.
Right.
Okay? That causes a lot of the symptoms that you're describing. You have kidney stones. You have had surgery on your urinary tract in the past before any of this ever came up.
Right.
And you're talking about enuresis and problems that can be related to that, but you're saying you're assigning it to this until I tell you that this just isn't toxic enough that you would have to take it in such an acute level in such high quantities that you virtually couldn't do it. And so you say, well, then maybe it's not that. No. You built your entire case on her, you finding this under the seat of her car, and therefore she's poisoning you with this. When I tell you that's virtually not possible, well, okay, then it's something else. No, you don't get to change your accusations, because nothing you are saying adds up to her poisoning you with boric acid or anything else.
Did you test the urine and stuff?
No, I didn't test the urine or stuff. It's weeks old. It's days old.
Right. I flew out here for nothing.
You hand me a urine sample that I don't know what you've done with before you hand it to me? What the hell good is that?
I didn't do anything with it except pee in a freaking bottle and save it.
How do I know that?
So you're useless.
We called every lab. They cannot test this stuff.
No, yeah, so it's another doctor just dismissing everything and doing nothing to help me.
Do I look like I'm dismissing this?
You didn't do anything to help me.
I'm not through.
Okay.
Kelly says she no longer recognizes Jeremy, the man she once thought was her Prince Charming. She says he constantly makes fun of her body, calls her a slut, and says he hopes she rots in hell. So what causes this change in Jeremy? We'll discuss that when we come back. Brought some samples out here, and you want them tested. And we said, they're not testable. We said, give us some current samples. You said, well, I'm not being poisoned now. And so you said this is
No
just...
one said give me some current samples.
We did ask you for a urine sample.
When?
And the producer asked you for it.
I brought the samples with me.
They're
No, this is a
unusable.
freaking waste
They're
of time.
unusable.
No, let me tell you what's a waste of time.
This is a waste of time. That's
What's a waste of time is you having a closed mind as opposed
No, I had
to
an open
wanting to
mind
find
for a
answers.
year. I had an open mind for a year.
Okay,
I let
well,
this
you
go on for
only
a
known
year.
me for an hour. I am going to get you tested.
Okay.
I am going to test you at a cellular level, at a tissue level. We're going to find out if somebody is putting toxic substances into your body.
Okay, thank you.
Well, first off, I don't think that your wife is poisoning you. But if she was poisoning you and that was all that was going on, and it had no mental emotional component to it, that would not explain these kind of text exchanges between you and your wife. On September 25th, you wrote, "I have no sympathy or room in my heart for a piece of like you."
Correct.
Kelly, I can't come clean to something I never did. 10-10-16, Jeremy.
I was asking her to leave me alone. She kept
Keep
texting.
taking on
Oh.
that makeup to try to cover up the pile of that hides underneath.
Hey, let me go get my phone so I can show you all the messages in between them that have been deleted.
Please do.
10-17.
I've never said anything bad to you.
Jeremy,
Oh, I know.
actually, I can't wait to watch you two rot in prison. You know what they do to people in prison that take advantage of someone with a mental disability.
I told her when I met her that I had a brain injury.
This is crazy. I would never hurt anyone, especially you. Happy Thanksgiving. Jeremy, you're a dirty who is going to prison. Choke on some turkey. Glad that my brain is fixed so I don't ever have to end up with a blank scumbag like you again. Have fun in prison. Me and the girls will not visit. I will replace you with somebody much better for them. Kelly, have a good day.
Right now you're attacking me for what I've dealt with for the last 6 years.
Okay, if the only thing that's going on is that you're being poisoned and there's nothing going on mentally and emotionally, why would you be writing this kind of hostile?
I've been asking her to leave me alone.
Jeremy, this is not you. You're not a bad person. You're a wonderful person, and that is why I married you. Because you're kind, you're helpful, you're good with our kids. That's the concern. This isn't you. It's not you.
Well, Kelly says she's never poisoned or cheated on her husband, Jeremy. He says that that's just not true, that she's a liar and a master manipulator. He says their marriage is over. I don't want that to be true. He says, I'm useless. I don't want that to be true. When we come back after the break, I'm going to talk about some steps I think we can all take together to try to bring some peace to this situation and give some very clear answers to Jeremy about what he wants to know. We'll be right back. I'm here with Jeremy and Kelly, and Jeremy believes very strongly that he has been poisoned by his wife and that she's cheating on him. She adamantly, vehemently denies both things. And I ask you to say it's at least possible that there's another explanation than
I wanted it to be another explanation.
boric acid poisoning. Right. There's another explanation than that she is poisoning you. And it's possible that you're seeing things through a filter that are distorting your perceptions. That's possible, right?
It could be possible, yes.
I want you to have the benefit of knowing that everything has been checked with you, that people that don't just give it the back of their hand. I want to send you to what I believe is the top diagnostic center in the country, okay, where they will check you at a cellular level, a tissue level, a blood level. They will do everything to determine if any toxic elements have been introduced to your body within the last several months.
Okay.
And if, in fact, that's not true, then what is going on? You want that answer, right?
I do.
And if it is a neurological thing, if there's something neurologically that's causing you to misperceive things, to have some type of delusional misperception, then how do we unwind that? Because I'd love to fly you to the PNP Center in Dallas. This is the Psychoneuroplasticity Center in Dallas, where Dr. Frank Lawless and Dr. Barbara Peavy have agreed to put together this diagnostic team to go from the tip of your head to the tip of your toes and answer every question you've got. And not one of them is going to start out with a preconceived notion that you're wrong about anything or that you're right about anything.
She knows. She watches them throw me right out of the office.
That's not going to happen with my team.
Okay.
So I might not be quite as useless as you think.
Okay, sorry.
That's all
apologize.
right. I'm just kidding you. All right. So we're going to get you these answers, okay?
Okay.
You support that?
Absolutely. 100%.
All right.
Thank
And-
you.
And then you come back here and tell us how it works.
Okay, excellent. Thank
All
you.
right. Fair enough?
Okay, so in this episode, we have Jeremy, who is accusing his wife Kelly of poisoning him with borax, but literally nothing points to that. His symptoms don't even align with borax poisoning. It seems like there's no way he could have been poisoned with borax without at least tasting it or the drink looking weird or something. Dr. Phil says that it would cause like an explosion if borax was poured into a bottle of Coke. He does, however, have other health problems that explain his illnesses and requiring brain surgery, and he previously had surgery on his urinary tract, so that might explain why he's having urinary issues. He revealed later on in the episode that he has a TBI, a traumatic brain injury. Hey, maybe that has something to do with this, especially if he's prescribed Adderall and is taking Adderall with a traumatic brain injury. Is it possible that perhaps the Adderall with a TBI is not a good combination? Is it possible that testosterone, which I believe I saw at some point early in the episode, he's taking testosterone, maybe he shouldn't be taking that with a traumatic brain injury? I don't know, but it seems like maybe medications are triggering this, medications happening in conjunction with traumatic brain injury. Maybe that has something to do with him requiring brain surgery. I don't know. His attitude is frustrating, but with a brain injury, honestly, I have known people with TBIs and their behavior can be just like this. And no logic can change their minds. No amount of evidence or explanation can change their minds. They seem to get stuck on an idea and they just stick to that. Of course, that's not going to apply to everyone with a TBI, but the particular people I'm talking about who had a TBI and were like this, they just continued being like this. I don't know what can be done about it. I do wonder if the brain surgery he had was beneficial or if it worsened this. I don't know, but you guys, what do you think about this? Do you think he's being poisoned by his wife with borax? I don't think so. Do you think that she's cheating on him? Doesn't sound like it to me. The DNA test shows he's the father. He said he wasn't sure if these are his kids, but then when the DNA test was displayed there, suddenly he says, I know they're my kids. That's not what you were saying on the tape. So I don't know exactly what's going on with him. I do hope that he gets some help. Honestly, I think she should consider leaving him. Maybe she should run because this cannot possibly be safe for her or for their children. How can their children exist in an environment with their father behaving this way? And if he genuinely believes that she's trying to kill him, is there a point he could reach where he thinks he needs to do that to her first? Where he needs to handle this permanently to protect himself? I think I would be concerned about that. As a mom, I think she might need to get out of there for her own safety, or at least get out of there until he can get some help, if he can be helped at all. But you guys let me know what you think about this. Let me know if you have any experience with anything like this. If you know anyone with a traumatic brain injury, if you yourself, does this align with that? Were you ever able to get out of these ruminations, these looped thoughts, getting stuck on these ideas? Let me know. Drop it in the comments.